Good morning, children of God. Good morning. Yay, another day. Too much fun. Getting into the holidays, a little Thanksgiving. Time to remember what Thanksgiving is really all about. Pilgrims. Yeah, there you go. And turkey. Thanksgiving. Oh, I lost it already, haven't we? Yeah. Is the completed acknowledgement of the presence of God, the presence of good in any situation. Key word being completed. In other words, you have to see it first, yes? One of the ways you get to see it first is to come together as we are here today. Let's stand, join together, and sing in the silence. In this moment, love is here. Peace is here. Truth is here. God is here. And we acknowledge His presence moving in and through us. This day, we are grateful for the opportunity to come together, to worship, to sing, and to pray. This day, we choose to be open and receptive and responsive to His instruction and guidance. This day, we affirm our oneness in the presence of Christ. Amen.
And now we are going to have the reading of the daily word, and it will be, the word today is will, and it will be read by Wayne.
The word for today is will. I use my human willpower to act on divine ideas in the world. My human willpower helps me to accomplish things in the world. When I align it with the power of God, I can do anything. Will is the capacity to make choices, and I use it to shape my ideas and my life. When I act on thought, I bring it to life. I use this power to make healthy choices, choose positive thoughts, or focus on a goal and achieve it. With the ability of will, I direct my life. I make wise choices to be the best person I can be. I align my willpower with the power of God. In prayer and meditation, I listen to divine ideas of peace, reconciliation, forgiveness, and love. I choose to act on these divine ideas for myself and for others, even in difficult times, even in difficulties. In this way, I manifest spirit in the world. And from the Apostle Paul's, who also happened to be a man of strong will, his counsel to the early Roman church was, if God is for us, who is against us?
Play. When in doubt, play. When in doubt, know who you are. And the more you know who you are is by stating with positive power the truth of you. Let's take our affirmation together. I am a child of the living God. I have within me the all-creating power of the Christ. It radiates from me and blesses all whom I contact. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am now in the presence. Let's rest into it as we join with Steve, I believe. I believe. I trust. I have faith. And having spoken these words of the truth of us, now we rest. We move into that place in consciousness that Jesus called our inner closet, our secret place. It is that place within you where there is no question, there is no doubt. The Father and I are one. We breathe. And as we enter this sacred space, we close the doors on those thoughts and feelings of what I should have done. We close the doors on those thoughts and feelings of what I have yet to do this day. And for one holy moment we rest. And we listen. In our prayers, we ask, here in the stillness, in the silence, answers come. Perhaps in a word, a phrase, a thought, a sound. Regardless of how it comes to you this day, know these gifts come wrapped in love. Know from this oneness all things are possible. This day, I choose to reach out and accept these answers. This day, I choose to say yes. And as I do so, every cell of my being responds. From the top of my head to the tips of my toes, I am re-energized, revitalized, renewed in this moment. I am whole and free. Here in the stillness, in the silence, I remember I am a channel through which good flows into my world, from me, through me. This day, in this moment, I open that channel and allow the flow of good to move from me, through me. First, into this place, to this now, touching each and every one of God's children. In this moment, I am blessed. I breathe. I breathe in life, and as I exhale, I let go of that which no longer serves me, but in some way serves my world, even if I can't see it. It moves, joining together with other thought of like mind from this place into our community, wherever that might be this day, touching each and every one of God's children. In this moment, I am blessed. I choose to be a blessing. This flow continues from me, through me, across our city, across our state, touching each and every one of God's children, whether they know it or not. Regardless of circumstance, in this moment, I am there. Good is there. This day, we see that and say thank you. And the flow continues from us, through us, across our country, touching each and every one of God's children. Peace, order, harmony. I breathe. This flow continues from me, through me, around our world, touching each and every one of God's children in this moment. I am blessed. I continue to be a blessing from me, through me. Throughout our universe, touching each and every one of God's children. And we remember that in truth and in spirit, we are never separate one from the other. In this moment, somewhere, someone is saying thank you for the gifts that you have sent. That which moved from you, through you, gratefully received here. I am thankful, I am grateful, and that gratitude swells up and returns to you. The circle is complete and whole in this moment. Affirming our oneness. I rest, I breathe, I live in the silence. Knowing there is more yet for me to do this day, holding to this experience we have shared, I bring my attention back to this now, to this place, to this when. And I join with you and pray as Jesus, our elder brother, has taught us when he said, "As for you, pray therefore in this manner." Oh, I did that out loud, didn't I? Dang. We're done. Breathe. Somebody asked me this week, you say that a lot. Why? Well, the alternative's not that good. Just, think about it for a minute if you would. But more importantly, each time you take a breath, you breathe in life. And according to our scientific brethren, that which you breathe in was the same as that which was breathed in by Jesus and the disciples, by Moses and the children of Israel. All the good, bad, and otherwise, same air, same stuff. Breathe. And as I exhale, I let go. We talked about it in our meditation just a little bit. I let go of that which no longer serves me. But it serves my world, even in the simplest form. Anybody want to love a tree today? Go breathe on it. Why not, right? What does it need? CO2. Yay! Now, on the surface, that sounds so bizarre. Even as I said it, I can't believe he said that in church. But it's only on the surface because it's all about what's going on inside of us. And it's about how we begin to live our life and start to take a look at our world. And one of the problems that we have is we look through the glass darkly. Is what it amounts to. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit this morning, is about dispelling the fog. And something came up, and as I was studying, I went, oh, wait a minute. That's a true statement. I better be careful of that. One of the things we talk about is that when we want to solve a problem, what's one of the very first things we want to do? We want to put light on it, yes? If you're in a fog and you turn on your headlights, what happens? Flashes back, doesn't it? Okay? So sometimes you got to remember that we tell stories. Don't turn on your light in the fog. Let's dispel the fog. Much easier than trying to count on that light to solve the problem. The light is only the first step. Awareness, first step. But now I got to dispel the fog. Well, what is the fog when we talk about it from a metaphysical perspective? What is it that is our fog? What are we holding on to that is not the truth of us that we believe? The word fear comes to my mind. Fear brings in a lot of fog. And for those of you who have advanced to the point where you no longer live in fear, but you are concerned, may I humbly suggest that's fear writ small, still fear, brings in the fog. So to dispel the fog, what I need to do is shift it and let it go. Let it go. And remember who I am. And my connection to that oneness. Of what shall you be afraid? For lo, I am with you always. What a great statement. See, no matter where you go, God is, yes? Right within you, right here, right now. We've taken a long time, and there are still some who think that God is out there. Some guy, long white beard, hanging out in a cloud, going to some, yeah? There's some people who believe that, who judges you. Fortunately, thank goodness, we've gone beyond that. We know that that's not true. God is. And I was listening to my friend Dale Allen Hoffman the other day, and he said something. I love how he likes to ask trick questions, and this is one of those that I'll share with you. We like to illuminate. We put sun on things, right? So when we look at our moon, we know that it's a reflection of light, yes? Which side of the moon does the sun light? And the trick to that is the sun doesn't choose. The sun just shines. The moon decides. You decide how you're going to reflect the light. Oh, oh no, it's all on me. Yes. You get to decide. You can live in the darkness. Or not. Right? Or just partly dark. That's the fog, isn't it? It's my choices, where I choose to move away from who I am, from the core of me, from my being. For good reason, by the way, from your perspective. It's what you believe. It's the stuff you've been carrying with you forever, some of which just flat isn't true, but it's still out there. And it's in thought. And until we change it in thought, until we change the thought, we're going to have the same kind of results. So when you start thinking things that you know aren't true for you, what do? Let's dispel some fog today. Breathe. That's the first step, by the way. Acknowledge the issue. Notice I didn't say dwell on it, I said acknowledge. One of the challenges that comes in New Thought is people believe that we deny that something occurred. You guys just deny everything, you only ever see the good. Well, yeah, kind of. Back to Thanksgiving, I've completed good. But no, I'm not denying what occurred, that's my experience. It just is. Key word, just is. I get to decide what it means. I get to decide how I'm going to respond to it. And as I learn how to respond, I dispel the fog. Because now I'm not coming in fear anymore. Because I'm coming from the one. And every time I come from the one, I get a good result. Every time. Now, I mean to humbly point out, it's not always the result I want. The little I. The one that says, Dear Lord, it's Rob. And I'd like this to occur in the following way. And God loves me so much, he sometimes says, no. And generally not that quiet, for me, personally. Generally I get a loud no. Because I know better, with a K, that that's not what works for me. That's not how my world works for me. Because I'm not going to give direction. I'm going to unfold the truth of me based on what I bring in, what I eat, the food I eat. Thanksgiving coming up, eat a lot. Not just turkey, but what? Eat. Spirit, companionship, family, yes? And everybody paints a different picture about what that means. And sometimes, for us this year as an example, our Thanksgiving dinner starts in Grants Pass and has a portion in London, a portion in San Francisco, a portion in Salt Lake City. You get the drift. I got family all over. But they're here. And in this spirit of Thanksgiving, we give thanks for all in your life. Now, it's easy to give thanks for the ones you love. A little tougher to give thanks for the ones you don't. And we all have a list. That's the list I need to work on the most. Those are the ones that I need to love regardless. Because they're holding the fog in. That's part of my fog bank that I can deposit to and take out on a regular basis. And I do. When stuff shows up in my world, I go like that, yeah. And then I go, wait a minute. Breathe. What is this to you? How many times do you ask yourself that question in a day? Something shows up in your world and you ask, what is this to you? Somebody burns a red light. Oh, I just saw a lot of pictures. Right? What is that to you? Breathe. And give thanks. What's the thanks for? I wasn't in the way. Try that one on. Thanks for being with this guy who had his head clearly... Never mind. See? I'm still working on it. Right? And we all do that. That's part of this, learning how to dispel this fog. Get it out of the way. Okay? And allow God to work through me. One step at a time. As an example. And the example of what? The example of light and of love. Where you can look at any circumstance, regardless of the appearance. Look past it and see what? The good in it. And even in the moment, if I can't see the good in it, I can breathe and know that it's there. And my prayer then becomes, open me, illumine me. I got enough fog out of the way, it's not going to blind me. Illumine me. So that I may walk my path in peace and prosperity. Abundance, opulence. Having fun with your words yet? Okay. Sure. I want to add that into the picture. Why? Because I want God to work through me. I want to remember that connection and bring it into my world. Why? Because I want my world to be a better place for me to live. And you all get to come along and help, please. Why? Because it's the collective. It's stuff we still hold on to. So anytime a thought comes in that's going to hold that fear place for you, get rid of it. How? One step at a time. First, it's not denial, but deny the power of it. This thought has no power over me. None. I get to choose what I'm going to do with it. I get to choose who I'm going to follow. I get to choose the thoughts that come through that I'm going to hold on to, which will then, thought in like mind has the tendency to produce after its kind, is going to show up in my world. What thoughts are you holding on to? That I can change my whole world by just breathing and letting it out of the way. And I get this one a lot. But Rob, that takes a lot of time. Really? How do you know? Well, it's taken a lot of time so far. Okay, so you don't have such a good track record. We're all in that place. Because time is something we've invented, you and I. But it's like the sun. The sun doesn't keep track of time. Have you ever thought about that? Early clocks, what were early clocks? Sundials, right? I'm standing still and the sun revolves around me. Just saying. Right? That's what the thinking was, right? We expand our thinking and realize, wait, there's more in my world than that. And we see a shadow and we say, see, this is incremental, except on a cloudy day when I have to guess. Ooh, problem with that sundial thing. Does it mean the sun stopped shining? No. And the same thing with the fog that you're holding around you. The sun is still there, always shining. God is still there, always with you. Always, 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 always. I just need to breathe and allow it to come through. And when I do that, it begins to dispel. I just need to get rid of my stuff that stands in the way. One of the books I was reading talks about it in the frame reference of ignorance, not illiteracy, but ignorant. There are a lot of things that we don't know. And if we live in that world of not knowing, that can create some problems for us. There are still people who live in the belief that the world is flat. There are still people who believe that we never went to the moon. That was done on a sound stage in Hollywood. Okay. I think they're nuts. But for them it's real, yeah? So I just need to love them and stretch, because the flat earthers are expressing a fear. Anybody remember what the fear is? I'm going to fall off the edge. Oops. So as I gain in knowledge, I realize there isn't an edge. It just keeps going and going. God said to mankind, I'm going to give you beautiful women and put them in the four corners of the earth, and then made the earth round, and laughed and laughed. I don't know where that story came from, it just did. So we look at our world in different ways. Take that which no longer serves us, put it behind us, and say, I can move through this, and whatever the challenge is. But it's a process. It's a process. I'm going to close up with this. I had somebody ask me this week, as I'm reading my Bible, I look at these characters and they're not very nice people. Moses might have been a good leader, but he had a few faults. King David, great king, played around a little, according to the Bible. Right? Oops, why should I follow these guys? That was the question that got asked. It was a good question, by the way. Why should I follow these guys? I said, do you understand that these people in this story are aspects of your being? What? Yeah. You have that Moses piece in you. You know how to free yourself. You know how. But there's still some parts you need to work on, which is why our brother Moses didn't make it into the promised land. Okay? It's why, if you look in the begatting part, anybody read that and just go, I'm never going to get through this. This guy begat that when he lived 100 years, and this guy begat that. And it goes on and on. I'm going, give me a break. But the one thing that's consistent, more or less, in that whole story is, and they all died. Well, not all of them. If you read carefully, there's a couple of times that didn't happen. Here's how it occurs. Found favor in the presence of the Lord and ascended. So the thought was already there, Old Testament. It doesn't come into fruition until the New Testament, when Jesus says, oh, by the way, life is eternal. And I'm going to prove it, and did. 2,000 years later, we're still going, yeah, but... because we have all this stuff we're carrying with us. And it's okay. We're getting there. One step at a time. We're dispelling that fog. One step at a time. We're remembering who we are. You are created. You were created. You are created. You are in the image and likeness of God. Right now. This isn't something that happened, pick whatever year you're willing to admit to, 65, 70 years ago. No, it happens now. Right now. So let's get in touch with that. Let's get in touch with that. I am a beloved child of God. Together? I am a beloved child of God. Now we're going to breathe through it. Together? I am a beloved child of God. Oh, doesn't that feel much better? That breath of life dispels the fog. Namaste.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.